This comment goes out to Stodles. Um, in his African immigrant video, he presented his evidence of black immigrant offspring regressing toward the mean greater than whites and Asians. In general, just to be short, African immigrant offspring or children have lower IQ scores than high IQ white children and Asian children. I mean, that's basically the generality of the whole theme of his video. And I have serious problems with not what he believes, but his solution to the problem. He believes that this proves that there should be no more African immigrants in the UK, because that's basically where he conducted the study, or where he found the study of African immigrant offspring regressing to the mean. He says there should be no more African immigrants in the UK because they're having lower IQs than white and Asian students. That's a serious problem. I have a serious problem with not you showing me racial differences in IQ, but a serious problem that you measure the IQ as something so substantial, so important in succeeding in a modernized society. Okay, that is where I have the issue. I mean, students, does the IQ measure judgment? Does the IQ measure persuasive skills? Does the IQ measure customer service skills? Does the IQ measure motivating people? If you look, what I'm getting at is that there are managers, there are people in trade positions, there are people, in government positions that have below average IQs and are very successful in their position. You are looking at a certain type, you're measuring a type of mental capacity. I've looked at those IQ tests, okay? It's not an emotion, it's a fact. That IQ test, it's not, okay, let's say that it's not biased. I mean, I can still make the point that it is biased, but let's just say that it is objective, okay? It is objective in measuring partial intelligence. It does not measure general intelligence. There's so many other ways of thinking that are so important in our society that you continue to gloss over. And that is why you have adamant rejection, and that is why people react so emotional to your evidence. You notice that in gender realism, people don't have that. Feminists are not as hostile to gender realism. Yes, there are some feminists that are hostile to gender realism, but not to the extent that anti-racists are hostile to race realism. You want to know why? Because they explain mental capacity in terms of difference. They don't measure, they don't say that mental capacity is one thing. Just like physical ability. There are things you can argue that blacks have superior physical abilities to whites, certain physical abilities, and whites have certain superior physical abilities to blacks. You can't argue, even if you accept, even in the physical realm, the physical abilities that Regression was talking about, black athleticism. Well, blacks can't swim. Blacks can't run long distance. Those are two things I'm just speaking about in general, in terms of general racial themes. I'm not saying that absolutely no blacks could be long distance sprinters. I'm talking about especially West African blacks, saying that they have a lower capacity, or from the results, they have a lower capacity to perform well in long distance sprinting they have a superior capacity in performing well in short distance sprinting. Whether you believe it's genetic or not genetic, those areas are a part of physical capacity. Okay. There are things in I know that you are somebody from academia and you're an elitist, but there are things that blacks do well, perform higher than whites, that are not measured by IQ. Okay. You can't use book measurements or scientific measurements of IQ to measure complete mental capacity. It is you're just flat out wrong. Okay. How about health? How about health intelligence? Okay. That's a form of intelligence. Some black people don't do that well in that, but well, I think West Indian blacks do better. West Indian blacks do better than African Americans in the health issue. In general, I mean, I look at the foods that West Indians eat and the foods that African Americans eat, and disproportionate amount of bad eating habits from African Americans. But Jamaicans have a bad, a shithole country in terms of a country. So I'm not saying that we're better in everything. So. But that is my major disagreement, that race realists continue to use that form in general intelligence. I got a problem with that. It is not general intelligence, and that is why you have very emotional rejection of your thesis. It's not, and the reason why they won't look at your facts because of your conclusions. That is not right. They should look at your facts before they attack your conclusion. Because what your conclusion is does not change the possible facts. But your conclusion is exactly why you're getting heat for this. Have a nice day.